matplotlib. Okay, so because of the kind of work that you're going to be doing, which is predominantly building models and analyzing data and doing all sorts of data sciencey stuff, you're probably going to want to quite often plot some graphs to look at outputs and analyze data and all that kind of stuff. And you'll be doing that a lot on this course. Now, we can, of course, just export our data and plot it somewhere else. But Python has really nice libraries for plotting, and probably the most widely used is matplotlib, which it comes with the Anaconda distribution of Python. And also, this has just reminded me something I haven't mentioned, but I know a couple of people have found out, and it may cause some confusion. So matplotlib and pandas and numpy and all those packages and lots more come installed with the Anaconda distribution of Python. However, if you create a new environment and go into that environment, only some of those packages, in fact only a few, actually get pulled across by default. So numpy is one that will always get pulled across because it's fundamental to data science. However, pandas does not, and neither does matplotlib. So if you create a new environment and you've created it manually, then you would have to manually install matplotlib and pandas and anything else that would be in your base environment. Now, when I say install, it doesn't sort of reinstall it in that sense. It just makes it available for that environment. So you'll find it installed very quickly, even for larger packages, because it's already on your computer. But worth knowing that. So I know a few people got a bit confused with that, and apologies I didn't mention that. Obviously, for anything that you cover in the training, you'll have various, whenever you need a new environment, we give you a YAML file, and you create the environment from the YAML file, and that will have the packages that you need and will install them for you. But you just be aware of that, and I flag that up now because matplotlib is indeed one of those packages. But matplotlib is excellent because it offers some really powerful plotting features. There's some really swish stuff that you can do that we won't be covering here. We're just going to go over the basics, but I'll link you to the resources where you can look at some of the really cool stuff you can do. Certainly much better than any plots you can do in Excel, I would say straight away. And you'll get really professional looking stuff, publication quality stuff quite easily. Just to slightly confuse things, as with all things FOSS, there's a bit of a double-edged sword. Because these things have grown up and evolved over time, and matplotlib in particular has had lots and lots of different ways of doing exactly the same thing, which can be a bit confusing. You can read other people's code and think, well, hang on, that's a totally different way to the way Dan showed us on the course. And you may well encounter that. In fact, you almost certainly will. So to minimise confusion on this course, certainly from my content, and I think I've managed to capture. So some of the stuff that I've adapted later in the course is from some of Mike's old materials where he used another way of doing it, which I think I've managed to catch all instances and make them consistent with this way. But just to flag it up. So the way I'm going to teach you is the object-oriented approach to using matplotlib, which is now the officially recommended way of using it from the developers. So just to flag that up, you may see some slight discrepancies. So to import matplotlib, we import it as we would any package, and much as with NumPy and pandas, there's a conventional alias that we use when we're importing pyplot from matplotlib, which, I mean, don't worry about it too much. We basically use pyplot from matplotlib, which gives it a MATLAB style plotting interface. But this line of code is what you will use to import. It's import matplotlib.pyplot, try saying that 3 times fast, as PLT, and then you can just refer to it as PLT from that point forward.